Dominus Cinephile.
Welcome to my movie and TV series reviews, where I will provide honest opinions of the latest releases. If the movie or TV series is a hit or a miss, be sure to know I will inform you. But if the movie or series is trash, be also sure to know that I will trash the hell out of the movie. I am Dominus Cinephile.
And the movie on the review table today is the Nollywood film House of GAA. House of GAA is a 2024 historical biographical drama written by Tunde Babalola and directed by Bolanle Austen-Peters. The movie premiered on Netflix on July 26, 2024. House of GAA features a star-studded cast of notable Yoruba Nollywood actors, including Femi Branch, Afolarin, Funke Akindele, Toyin Abraham, Ibrahim Chatta, Jide JBlaze Oyegbile, Bimbo Manuel, Lateef Adedimeji, Femi Adebayo, Gabriel Afolayan, Seun Akindele, Yemi Blaq, and many others. Based on a true story, House of GAA delves into the cultural and historical tapestry of the once powerful Oreo Empire. Set between the 17th and 18th centuries, the movie tells the tale of Afolarin, a nobleman and warrior in the old Oreo Empire. Before we delve into this review, let's explore a brief history of Afolarin, as the movie is labelled a historical account of this legendary warrior in Yoruba mythology. Afolarin, or GAA, was a notable nobleman and military leader in the old Oreo Empire during the 18th century. From 1650 to 1750, the Oreo Empire was at the pinnacle of its greatness, enjoying peace, prosperity, and wealth. The empire had expanded to encompass the Niger River in the north, parts of the Tapa and Bariba kingdoms, Benin Republic in the east, the seacoast in the south, and the Popos and Dahomey in the west. Thousands of provincial officials, called Ajayiles, were appointed to administer all the conquered kingdoms and report to the Alafian, who basked in his majesty and power. Women, men, young and old sang his praises. However, internal power struggles eventually led to the rapid disintegration and total collapse of the empire. Afolarin was a powerful nobleman and military leader in the old Oreo Empire, known for his ruthlessness and ambitious quest for power. Ga's influence grew immensely as he eliminated several Alafians, kings, who stood in his way, instilling fear and exercising significant control over the empire. However, his oppressive rule and actions led to widespread fear and discontent among the people and the nobility. Ga's downfall began during the reign of Alafian Abiodun, who ascended to the throne in the late 18th century. Alafian Abiodun, understanding the threat Ga posed, plotted carefully against him. The turning point came when Alafian Abiodun, with the support of other high-ranking officials and warriors, decided to confront Ga's tyranny. In a dramatic and decisive confrontation, Alafian Abiodun declared Ga a traitor and condemned him to death. Ga was captured and subjected to severe punishment. According to historical accounts, Ga was tortured in various ways, including being tied to a stake, whipped, and mutilated. The final act of execution involved cutting off his limbs and head. His remains were then displayed as a warning to others who might challenge the authority of the Alafian. This execution marked the end of Ga's terror in the Oreo Empire and served as a pivotal moment in the empire's history, symbolizing the restoration of royal authority and the reassertion of traditional laws and customs. Now that we've covered the brief history of GAA, let's dive into this review to see if Bolanle Austen-Peters' portrayal of this iconic historical character lives up to the legend. This is Austen-Peters' second attempt at a historical drama, following the failed attempt at the Fumilayo Ransom Kuti movie. I won't hesitate to share my thoughts on this movie because, like many other Nollywood films with a similar feel, it turned out to be a disaster. Think of Jagun Jagun, Kaisari, Orisha, and King of Thieves. All followed the same weak and feeble trajectory. House of GAA is no different, suffering from the same flaws. I wasn't initially keen on writing a review after watching it, but seeing people rave about it changed my mind. Firstly, the film was riddled with inaccuracies. It's perplexing how Nollywood filmmakers approach historical movies, consistently making the same mistakes. The recurring issues are truly baffling. Costume design has always been a major problem for Nollywood in films like these. I wasn't surprised by the costumes in this movie, especially the attire for the warriors. What were those black rubber-like outfits the warriors and soldiers were wearing? Was the director attempting to emulate ancient Roman or European breastplates? Or was it a matter of simply choosing something colourful without much thought? In the 17th and 18th centuries, the Oreo Empire in West Africa used various forms of money for transactions, with cowrie shells being a primary medium of exchange. It's puzzling why Nollywood filmmakers often include cowries as part of the costumes when depicting ancient empires or historical settings. It doesn't make sense to use what was historically a form of currency as a decorative element in costumes. In the effort to be creative with costumes, they should avoid misrepresenting significant historical artifacts. Someone should inform the director and other Nollywood filmmakers that cowries were not used as earrings, necklaces, bracelets, or decorative items stitched onto clothing during ancient eras or civilizations in Africa. It's evident that little to no research went into this aspect of the movie. In fact, the entire film lacks thorough research. You can't make historical movies without extensive research and planning, or they will end up being a colossal mess full of inaccuracies. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened with this movie. The movie presented several discrepancies and historical inaccuracies. For instance, the portrayal of Ilorin as a community influenced by the Fulanis during the reign of Bashorun Gaa was incorrect. In reality, Ilorin was governed by Alugbin, the father of Afonja, during that period. The Fulani tribe's significant role in Ilorin's history began in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, especially during the rule of Afonja, the Are Ona Kakanfo, military leader of the Oreo Empire. It was during Afonja's reign, not Bashorun Gaa's, that the Fulanis had an encounter with the Oreo Empire. Another inaccuracy in this poorly researched historical movie is the mention of Ibadan. Ibadan did not exist until after the fall of the Oreo Empire, not before. It's evident that Tunde Babalola, the writer, and Bolanle Austen-Peters, the director, did not thoroughly research the historical context before creating this film. This movie exemplifies the typical approach of many Nollywood productions. The absurdity and lack of coherence are overwhelming. Now, let's discuss the movie's overall production and the actors' performances. First and foremost, can someone explain why the Fulanis in this movie were speaking Yoruba? The director failed miserably here. It's a double misstep, not only placing the Fulanis in a historically inaccurate period, but also having them speak Yoruba fluently. This inconsistency was truly exasperating. Movies, especially historical films, rely heavily on color mood to enhance the viewing experience. Color mood refers to the use of color to convey emotion, atmosphere, and tone. Filmmakers carefully select colors to influence how viewers perceive and feel about scenes and characters. For example, warm colors like red, orange, and yellow often evoke feelings of warmth, excitement, or passion, and can create a sense of intimacy or intensity. Cool colors, such as blue, green, and purple, typically suggest calmness, sadness, or detachment. They can create a sense of tranquility or melancholy. Color mood helps establish setting, reflect a character's emotional state, and enhance the narrative by reinforcing themes or subtext in films. The reason for this explanation is to highlight that the director of this movie approached the production as if it was still the 1990s Nollywood style. There is no effective use of color mood in any scenes. Instead, The film presents a chaotic clash of colours, vying for dominance throughout. Like many Nollywood productions, the cinematography in this movie was subpar, and the dialogue was weak, making little impact despite the film's use of Yoruba. The Yoruba accent spoken in 17th century Oyo would not be the same as the modern accent. The director and his team failed in this regard, as the characters' accents sound like they are from 2024 rather than the historical period depicted. The performances in this movie were dreadful, beginning with the lead actor, Femi Branch, who plays Basharun Ga. His acting was typical of what one might expect from such a production, characterized by the stereotypical Yoruba Nollywood style, where shouting is mistaken for great acting. Femi Branch lacked the commanding presence and aura of a mighty warrior, which Basharun Ga's character demands. His performance was weak and failed to elevate the movie in any way. Jide JBlaze Oyegbile, who portrayed Olautan, the eldest son of Basharun Ga, delivered a performance that, like Femi Branch's, lacked impact and the qualities expected of a warrior's son. Some of the most lackluster acting in this movie came from Funke Akindele, Toyin Abraham, and several other female characters. Funke Akindele and Toyin Abraham played Basharun Ga's senior wives, but throughout the nearly 2-hour runtime of the movie, they offered nothing significant in terms of acting or presence. Their roles felt like mere placeholders, as they appeared feeble, weak, and disappointingly irrelevant. Afolarin portrays Oyemekun, one of the sons of Basharun Ga, and serves as the narrator in this movie. Like much of the cast, his performance was frustratingly poor and unconvincing. His character was a constant struggle, including his chemistry with his love interest, who was later sacrificed to save his father. Oyemekun is portrayed as a trained warrior, whose bravery is marred by sudden moments of cowardice. The film's attempt to explore his internal conflicts falls short, with his abrupt surrender in scenes like the one with King Majiyogbe's warrior feeling inconsistent and undermining his character. Additionally, his fight scene with King Majiyogbe's warrior was both underwhelming and awkward. As the narrator, his voice made no sense. For a Yoruba actor struggling with the language, his narration was simply bad. Too bad, in fact. It was perplexing why a younger version of his character was narrating the story. It should have been an older version. The stupidity and ridiculousness of this movie were alarming. While watching this movie, I struggled to understand what the scriptwriter and director intended to convey. Despite the story being based on a historical event, they made a complete mess of it. The plot holes and nonsensical scenes were overwhelming. Take, for example, the scenes involving the Nupe lady captured by Basharun Ga and taken as a slave. Much about her character and storyline made no sense at all. First, can someone explain how she was able to speak and understand Yoruba as a slave captured from Nupe? Her immediate fluency in the language made no sense, either in real life or cinematically. It's evident that the director and scriptwriter had no clear idea of what they wanted to do with the Nupe slave character. I kept wondering about the point of including her in the movie. In one scene, Funke Akindele's character called her a witch, and the other wives of Basharun Ga hated her. Basharun Ga himself wasn't fond of her either. There was nothing important about her throughout the movie. Yet for some absurd reason, the director chose to show the character's breasts for over 10 seconds as a form of creative shooting. This scene only highlighted the director's misguided prioritization of nudity over quality filmmaking. What did the exposed breast add to the movie? Absolutely nothing. Another missed opportunity in this movie was the choice of hairstyles for some of the female characters. A few of them wore hairstyles that were neither originally from the Yoruba culture nor appropriate for the historical period depicted. The inaccuracies in this movie, as I mentioned before, were frustrating. I noticed hairstyles from Igbo culture and other cultures not associated with the Yoruba culture. For example, Oyemekun's love interest and her friends had hairstyles that did not reflect Yoruba traditions. Additionally, in one scene, the Nupe slave was shown with a hairstyle associated with the Fulani tribe, rather than the Nupe tribe. In summary, House of GAA is a historical drama that fails to accurately reflect the history it aims to portray. The film falls short in every aspect, with no redeeming qualities. It lacks fundamental elements of filmmaking and fails to be entertaining. The movie is plagued by weak performances from both the lead actors and supporting cast, who do not meet expectations. The script and dialogue are as poorly executed as the acting. Filled with inaccuracies, House of GAA should be classified as a fictional film with a poorly written script, mediocre actors, and a director lacking the technical expertise to create a historical drama. And now for my rating. House of GAA scores a disappointing 1 out of 10. I'm definitely trashing this. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, WhatsApp channel, and Instagram at Domino's Cinephile for more movie and TV series reviews. Domino's Cinephile, signing out.